Watch former Secret Service agent drops truth bomb on Adam Schiff with 2 brutal words by Dan Lindsay, Politics U.S. News for MadWorldNews.com. After trying to make President Donald Trump look like the bad guy for not releasing a junk memo, Adam Schiff is getting blasted by former Secret Service agent who just dropped a truth bomb on him, and it only took 2 brutal words to do it. President Donald Trump recently made the decision not to release the junk response memo created by the Democrats on the House Intelligence Committee, according to the Daily Caller. The decision was based on classified sources and methods, which Adam Schiff and his Democrat colleagues included in their response memo. White House Deputy Press Secretary Hogan Hidley released a statement about Schiff's response memo on Monday, February 12, 2018, during an interview with Fox News Monday. This Democratic memo does not keep American lives safe. It reveals serious national security information that could, quite frankly, put our lives at risk, and the president is not going to do that, Gidley declared. Now, former Secret Service agent Dan Bongino is coming out against Schiff, telling the ugly truth about the liberal hack from California, and you don't want to miss it, according to the Gateway Pundit. Bongino appeared on Fox and Friends on Monday morning to discuss the latest developments in the Obamagate Trump spying scandal. His remarks on Schiff were nothing less than scalding. Bongino first took aim at former CIA Director John Brennan, saying that he is in a world of trouble for lying under oath to Congress about the Russian dossier. It's always predictable with them, the Democrats, and it just shows their devious side. For as much as I disagree with Democrats and their ideology and everything they do in this case, which has been downright evil in the whole fabrication of the Russian narrative, you almost have to respect their deviousness, Bongino began. Let's just take a quick listen to what he said. And he calls Adam Schiff a snake.
What they did is they said, look, you need to make some redactions and some technical corrections here, and we will get it out right away. Now, from that point, we've heard nothing but crickets. If they really wanted to get it out, they'd be down there all day yesterday, redacting it, getting it back over to the White House so that the public can know what's in it.
All his points, I thought that was the most relevant, because if you want something done, go do it over the weekend, and it would have been ready to go on Monday. Dan Bongino, former NYPD officer, former Secret Service agent, host of the second most popular conservative podcast in the country, The Dan Bongino Show. Aiming for number 1.
And I was going to say, the second. Right. Why are you number 1? I'm just kidding.
Well,
the second's amazing.
Try harder. Right, and almost with no promotion you've done that. It was amazing, because it just shows how relevant your points are. In terms of this, let's just talk about why that second memo isn't out. This is playing out exactly like the president said. They were going to put this forward. It was going to be unreleasable, and then they were going to say the president's covering up. This is predictable.
It's always predictable with them, with the Democrats, and it just shows to show their devious side. I mean, listen, for as much as I disagree with the Democrats and their ideology and everything they do in this case, which has been downright evil in the whole fabrication of the Russian narrative, you almost have to respect their deviousness. They're tactically brilliant. Put information in there that they know can't get out on sources and methods, in their memo, that is. Give it to the president, knowing he can't release that memo, and then come back and say immediately, as if on cue, oh, look, the president's hiding something. I mean, it's really deranged, but this is what they do.
Well, there's a possibility that Devin Nunes' next target could be former CIA top guy, John Brennan. Paul Sperry, the investigative reporter, did a report that apparently he's looking into whether or not Mr. Brennan perjured himself, because they were talking about in public testimony. He said, he was asked about, did this dossier play anything, did that factor in? No, it didn't. Do you know who commissioned the dossier? No, even though everybody at the FBI and the DOJ apparently did. He could be in trouble.
Yeah, Steve, my sources on this are telling me John Brennan is in a world of trouble right now. And let me just walk you through a quick timeline to tell you why. Okay. Back in August of 2016, he gives a private briefing to Senator Harry Reid, Democrat, of course. He gives that briefing to Reid. Reid then fires off a letter to the FBI, and in that letter is information that clearly came from the dossier. Now, clearly then at that point, Brennan was aware of the dossier because he told Reid. Now it's fascinating because in May of this year, of 2017, under oath, by the way, up on the Hill, Brennan says, oh, I didn't know who commissioned the dossier, which is amazing. Because the CIA has a central role in the verification of foreign assets and information we get from foreign assets. It is not plausibly deniable that John Brennan did not know who commissioned that dossier. He is in a world of trouble because he raised his right hand and he said the exact opposite.
And there's nobody angrier last week at Devin Nunes and John Brennan on CNN last week. He was crazed. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, you'd be crazed too if you find out you may be guilty of perjury because they're investigating you for lying up on Capitol Hill under oath.
What about other intelligence officials that were in those positions during President Obama, during all of this happening?
Yeah, well, Jim Clapper, of course, the ODNI head office and director of national intelligence, is knee-deep in this as well. Here's the problem, Ainsley. They can't get their story straight. When they go on TV, they say, oh, the dossier had nothing to do with it. And then you find out later on that contents of the dossier made it into the presidential daily brief onto Barack Obama's desk. What was it? Was the dossier salacious and unverified and not credible? Or was it credible enough to brief the president on and start the most significant counterintelligence investigation in U.S. history? Which story is right? They can't even figure it out.
We need to find those, get those transcripts.
So, Dan, ultimately, people like Adam Schiff, the Democrat from California, is he doing his best to keep all this from coming out, or is he just playing the loyal opposition?
Adam Schiff is a snake. He's the biggest fraud on Capitol Hill right now. Adam Schiff is doing the Democrats' dirty work in trying to cover up. Here's the problem, Steve. I don't know how to say this any more candidly. The Obama team spied on the Trump team. The liberals have married themselves to years to this facade that they're civil liberties advocates. That's gone now. That is completely gone. They will be police state advocates from this point on when the public learns the true story of the extent of the Obama team spying on the Trump team, and it will decimate the liberal brand forever. And Schiff's the one who's been sent out there to lie and deceive in order to try and save this. But they can't, because remember, guys, there are court transcripts. The Democrats can't run from this. There's no plausible deniability.
We have to see them.
It's that kind of straight talking that is going to put you #1 in the podcast world. Just saying, buddy.
Well, Dan Bongino is 100% correct. Adam Schiff has done the dirty work of the deep state and liberal power holders since Devin Nunes first went on the offensive to expose their criminal behavior nearly a year ago. Schiff went as far as to accuse Nunes of ethics violations when he famously went to the White House to inform President Donald Trump that he was being spied on before, during, and after his campaign. Nunes suffered the humiliation of an ethics investigation because of Schiff and continues to tolerate daily attacks from the left for his loyal support of our president. Schiff is a proven liar and will do anything to conceal what he and his co-conspirators within the Department of Justice and the FBI have been doing. It's time for the truth to come out and for people to pay the price. Schiff's constituents in California need to wake up and realize that they are sending a con man to Washington, D.C., and he isn't working in their best interest. That's putting it mildly. They're all con artists on the Democratic side in D.C., so I don't agree with that statement. They know that these people are con artists. That's what they pump. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.